Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's episode of the ZodWriter Show. I am ZodWriter, and with me tonight, my co-host Johnny Alpha. What's up, Johnny?
Not much, man. Just hanging out, just kicking it. Got some cool
Yeah,
stuff to
that's what
talk
I
about.
figure. That's what I figured we do today. We would just hang out and kind of kick it. We got we're missing Rhea and that one Carlos tonight, but hopefully they'll be back with us next week. And we're supposed to have a special guest for tonight's show. So if and when our special guest pops up in the back, we will definitely bring him on. But with that out of the way, we need to talk immediately about the trailer that just dropped today for Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. That's the
Yes,
that's
yeah.
the, that's the first order of business, because for me, Army of the Dead looks like it is going to be a wonderful, wonderful show. A wonderful, wonderful film. Truth 31. It's showtime. What's up, Zod? It's so good to see you, Truth. Glad you could be here with us watching the show. If you'd like to join the panel, anybody watching tonight, if you'd like to join us on the panel to discuss all these great topics we're going to be bringing up tonight, just let me know and I will shoot you a link on Twitter so that you can jump on the panel. Yeah, but I've probably watched the Army of the Dead trailer today more times than I've ever watched any trailer in a given day. That's how much I enjoyed this trailer. I think that Zack Snyder's about to transcend the zombie genre and basically reinvent it all over again the way that he did with his Dawn of the Dead remake. Johnny, what do you think, man?
I think it looks incredible. This is like what I've been waiting for, anyways, from him ever since it was announced, and it did not disappoint. It's back to classic Snyder. It looks like he's even going to try to one up his remake of Dawn of the Dead, which is, in my opinion, the best horror remake ever made. So, but the whole way that he's setting up these new kind of zombies, it's like he's going to be showing up like I Am Legend and all these other movies too, because he's, like you said, he's going to be trying to evolve the genre, but he looks like he's doing it in the right way because, Zombie Tiger is always going to land me in the end. Even if I wasn't excited for this, if I never heard of Snyder before, I watched that trailer, I saw that Zombie Tiger, I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, this is getting watched."
Well, and just so Truth, to answer your question here, we're not going to really be talking about that particular topic tonight that we had planned, our anime discussion, because our we don't I don't have my full panel for tonight for what we had planned. So we're basically going to stick to talking about movies and yeah, I mean that's pretty much our going to be our direction for tonight. I'm not really looking to delve into the anime thing. That well, I guess we'll have to save that topic for next week. So if you do want to join the panel, Truth, you're more than welcome to do so. RJ, welcome, man. He says Army of the Dead looks fantastic. Mixing the zombie movie with the heist film genre is genius. Yeah, yeah, I think it's incredible. Zach, like I said, Zach's about to reinvent the genre all over again. He's about to turn it upside down, and man, has the zombie genre gotten stale. I mean, it really has, and that's why it's great to see Zack Snyder inject some new life into.
Well, his movie, his Dawn of the Dead, was kind of responsible for the whole zombie pop culture event. Anyways, it was one of the films that was really at the head of that like formation. That kind of just drove it through. So it's kind of cool that he's going to be coming back and one upping it and being like, we can still do new shit too. So that's cool. He's kind of fixing what he started.
I thought it
Kick
was
ass Zach.
brilliant. I mean, the use of the Kenny Rogers gambler thing. I grew up. My mother is a big Kenny Rogers fan. So I grew. So
Does she like
I
them
grew up as
roasters?
a kid. I grew up as a kid. I knew hearing all those Kenny Rogers songs because my mother used to play the record albums. Those were her, that was her thing. And as soon as I heard, the gambler in the trailer, I thought, oh my god, this is insane. This brings me back to when I was a kid, and like he just like turned the whole thing on its ear, and he kind of did. I mean, it was it was incredible. I love that trailer. I'm actually just as excited now for Army of the Dead. Not that I wasn't super excited for Army of the Dead, but I'm just as excited now for Army of the Dead as I was like I think right before the Snyder Cut came out, because I think this is going to have the same type of impact as far as like positivity. I think people are going to really resonate with this, and they're going to see again, Zack Snyder's total awesomeness. And RJ says, Return of the Living Dead began the trend for smart zombies back in the 80s, but Zack is going to take it to the next level. A whole zombie society and hierarchy in the walled off Vegas. Who can plan? Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I think it's I
Well,
think it's gonna transcend zombie films as a whole, because these zombie movies are a lot of these zombie movies, they make them for they're a dime a dozen. There's so many of them. And we are now being joined by the Truth. Welcome, Truth. What's up, man? So
What's
glad
going
you could
on,
be here.
Zod? Hello, Johnny. Good to see you. Good,
good
good
to
to see
see
you,
you.
Zod. Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh man, dude, bro, how excited are you for Army of the Dead?
Oh, I loved it. I just did a trailer reaction, and that trailer just got me hyped, man. I absolutely loved it. First of all, beautiful. What a beautiful looking trailer. I mean, the film looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the cinematography. I love all the characters. It feels like Zack Snyder. And I love Dave Bautista as well. To be honest with you, and this might be a sacrilegious to say, but I think Batista might be a better actor than Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I
I
really
agree
do.
one full heartedly.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
I
God,
I
I
agree
couldn't
full
agree. I couldn't
heartedly.
agree more. I think he just. I mean, you could tell that he's got some chops, and he's
Yeah.
putting it all behind him for this movie. I mean, I really am excited,
If
and you could see just from that trailer why he would turn down James Gunn and say, you know what, James, been there, done that. I've seen what you're gonna do. Your movies don't change. I'm joining the revolution. I'm gonna go join Zack Snyder on Army of the Dead. I would like to have been a fly on the wall during that conversation.
Yeah, and he made he made the right call because now Batista is the lead of this film, and Batista's a smart guy. He knows what's that Zack Snyder is a trendsetter, and Zack Snyder is the hot topic right now. So if I was if I was Batista, I would like, yeah, I made the right call.
well,
Sorry, James, but I'm not joining your fucking DC version of Guardians of the Galaxy. Been like Zod said, been there, done that. I'm good.
well, he's already proven himself as like a really good lead actor in emergency type film. He did one called Bushwick. I think A24 put it out. It
Yes.
was an indie film. It's really, really brutal. It's
Yeah.
more like just everybody in society starts trying to kill each other, and he's helping this lady try to get out of this town, and it's badass. So like seeing that, like I would have approached him to star in something like this personally. And then back to what Zod was saying, what you got to remember too about this film is it's just introducing us to this universe. We're also going to get an anime and a prequel show explaining how, you know, the world that we get to visit first in this movie was made. And that just sounds so dope. I really hope they get all that put out.
Yeah, I love the fact that Zack Snyder is like building this zombie universe on Netflix, and Netflix, unlike HBO Max, capitalized on Zack Snyder. He's like, well, hey, HBO Max and AT&T, if you don't want Zack Snyder, we'll take him. We'll take his universe. We'll take his ideas. And I think I think this film is going to be a massive hit for Netflix, and it's going to be just shaking my head over at HBO Max, like, oh my god, what are we doing? Why did we let this guy go?
Yeah, yeah, and I hope that's what this is. And like I was saying earlier, I was saying this to Johnny off air. I don't think I said this while we were on the air, but I'm to the point now, Truth, where I feel like if Zack Snyder accepts an exclusive deal with Netflix and tells Warner Brothers, to take their Cape movies and shove it, I won't feel bad, because this tells me that Zack Snyder is about to become, he's already the most sought after filmmaker in Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
And this trailer alone just goes to show you that Zack's not fooling around. Zack has got movies to make. If Warner Brothers wants to keep being petty and keep playing games, I say to hell with them at this point.
I think
I'm over it.
Him going back to Warner Brothers would be the worst career mistake he could make at this point, in my opinion, dude, to tell you the truth. As much as I know you guys really, really want to see more of his Justice League, I think that would just be shooting himself in the foot, because like you're saying, he is the most sought after guy. He can go anywhere with carte blanche. Sony, all these other companies, they probably pay out the ass for the guy. So like, yeah, him to go back and have them be like, okay, well, where did you leave off with Superman? I think would be very, very folly for him to try.
Yeah, I agree.
He's got no real incentive other than he wants to finish his arc. And this may be an unpopular opinion, but I kind of feel like his Justice League movie is so good that you want to talk about leaving your audience wanting more. If he doesn't come back and do any more superhero movies, just think about this for a second. If he doesn't do any more DC movies, he goes out on top, because he's got people that, hated BVS and Man of Steel that absolutely loved Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I'm right here.
I've seen people who couldn't stand Zack Snyder as a filmmaker who are praising him now because of his Justice League movie. I mean, Gail Simone, the comic book writer, who, for all intents and purposes, was really, really a harsh critic of Zack Snyder in the past, came out and praised Justice League like it's the greatest thing in the world since sliced bread. So as far as I'm concerned, we're at a point now where he basically could go out on top as far as the Cape stuff is concerned. And now he's an auteur filmmaker again, and he's going back to the genre that got him started. So to me, I don't know. I'm one of those people who, as much as I want to see more of Zack Snyder's work, with the DC universe, particularly his completed 5-film arc, I think it would be a tragedy if we didn't get that in some form. As far as like Zack's mental health goes and his longevity as a filmmaker, I think he should sign an exclusive deal with Netflix and make the movies he wants to make.
I don't think he should sign exclusive with anybody, man. He could just be a free agent and bounce around and make whatever he wants to make for whoever he wants to make it at this point. Like you said, what he did with the cut was amazing. He turned so many heads. He changed so many minds. I literally thought that there was going to be a couple million already written reviews about how shit the film was. The second it hit online, you know what I mean? But I didn't. People watched it, people liked it, and I think that he could ride this out, and he could actually probably become like an art film, world renowned. He could go over and make films in France, but I don't think he could do that if he signs with Netflix. I think Netflix, like Warner Brothers, is a nice stepping off point. See, like when he signed with Warner Brothers, he just was barely out of making music videos. It was a really good deal for him. But where he's at now, the exposure he has, the way people look at him, if he goes back and makes studio mandated films, worst mistake he ever made.
All right. And with that, I'd like to welcome somebody new to the ZodWriter show. This is RJ. What's up, RJ?
Hey, what's up, guys? Pleasure to be here for the very first time. Awesome to be here, man.
Yeah, glad to have you here on the panel. I don't know if you got a chance to meet my co-host Johnny yet. Johnny, this is RJ. RJ, this is Johnny.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you too, man.
And you know Truth, right, RJ? You and Truth, you know Truth?
Yeah, I know Truth. I haven't had a chance to talk to him though. It's the first time talking to both.
Hey, RJ, good to see you.
I'm like
See you too, man.
everybody. I'm like everybody knows
you are
truth.
You're
He's
the broker of peace, though.
he's-
That's like
he's
your
the-
title. You always bring people together, Zod.
I do like to bring people together. Yeah, that's the thing. I kind of have that reputation from years back. Yeah, they used to call me the broker of peace. RJ, I got to get your, because you were dropping some really good ones in the chat. That's why I was like, man, I'm gonna bring you on. So how excited are you for Army of the Dead, man? Because wow.
Yeah, I mean, funny thing about zombie movies, I respect zombie movies. I mean, Shaun of the Dead and Zombieland are awesome. But I don't know what it is, man. Zombies just freak me out. Out of all the movie monsters, they're like the ones that just like, I don't know, they scare me a lot for whatever reason. So like, they haven't really been like my thing. But that trailer looked amazing. It looked like a lot of fun. I love, again, mixing the zombie genre with the heist movie genre. I think that's a great approach no one's done before yet. It's something I think is going to be appeal to a lot of people. And yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. I am scared though, man, because like I said, it looks so good. Netflix is itching to pay Zach, man. They're paying for him to just come in and do more movies for them. I bet.
I was kind of completely sold on the idea of him signing an exclusivity deal with Netflix, and then it just hit me where Johnny was like, let him just be a free agent and go wherever he wants. And yeah, that's actually would be even better to see him pop up and do movies wherever he feels like doing them. And Zeno makes a good point here. He says zombies with working brains, good concept. Yeah, I actually think that he's essentially going to reinvent the genre as a whole based off of that trailer. And guys, we got to talk about the tiger. We just have to talk about
the zombie tiger, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he said, I
how
believe
people love the tiger.
I think he said in an interview that apparently birds in that universe cannot be zombified, but any other animal's game. So
yeah. And the zombie tiger just like sticks out. First of all, it looks gross. It looks disgusting. And the CGI on it looks.
It reminded me. The CGI of it reminded me of something like out of a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like it had that real like sick and twisted element where you would be freaked out if you ever were to run across anything like that. I mean, anybody. I mean, you see a tiger walking down the street, you're gonna be scared. But a zombie tiger, I mean, you're gonna have a heart attack right there. It's
plus
just completely.
Plus, that's one of Siegfried and Roy's tigers, and that thing tried to eat either Siegfried or Roy. I forget which one.
Before it mauled his face, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that thing makes it even scarier. It tried to eat a mofo before it was a zombie.
Yeah, did you guys hear though? I'm posting in the chat. There's an actress in the trailer by Tig. I think her name is Tig Notaro. Zach filmed all of her scenes during the pandemic, and like it looks seamless because she had to replace another actor.
Yeah,
like, all of it's on green screen, all of it's close-ups, and it looks amazing. Like I'm shocked it looks that good.
She looked good in the trailer. I was like, wow, that's awesome. And yeah, again, when you talk about seamlessness, see, this is how much of a perfectionist Zack Snyder is. His visual style is unparalleled. And the reality is when you have someone like him who can come in and can just do whatever he wants and make it look effortless. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why, people hear the name Zack Snyder and they get excited. They get excited for the movie, especially if it's a movie that doesn't have to deal with superheroes. I mean, honestly, I mean, he's got me to the point where I was, like I said, I was so riveted. I think I've seen this trailer more times than any other trailer I've ever watched in a given day when it actually premieres. I'm like, this trailer looks magnificent. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, all the visual effects
are all day crazy. Too. Like it was blowing up social media.
Yeah,
everyone was loving it.
Yeah. I mean, Zeno says Netflix is a good decision. Highest subscriber base, more eyes on what Snyder can do. Yeah. And what I love about Netflix is Zeno, Netflix will give Zack Snyder whatever budget he needs for whatever project and just say, go out and make us a movie. Do whatever you want. They're not gonna.
And to that point, I don't know if you guys saw, but Zach said he pitched this movie to Warner Brothers and they said no. When he took it to Netflix, he said, "This sounds awesome. Let's give you all the money and go ahead and do it."
All the money in the world, Zach. Go ahead. Yeah, all the money in the world. Go ahead and do your thing. We're good. You're good.
Warner Brothers has to be kicking themselves though for like losing this movie.
Yeah. I hope.
If he does sign to Netflix, he can also kind of break it in and stick it off. I don't know if you guys follow like smaller comics, but Netflix owns the rights to all of Mark Millar's Millar World stuff. They're actually putting out the Jupiter Legacy movie. So technically, they could give those films to Zach, and he could be direct competition to everything Warner Brothers is putting out, making his style movies with these really, really kind of comic book movies that fit his style way more because they're darker, they're grittier. They got people getting messed up the way he likes to have them messed up in his films, and you know what I mean. So, like, there's potential for that too. Yeah, and they won't interfere.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like, if you're a filmmaker, you want to go where you have the most freedom to be that filmmaker.
Yeah, and
that's the idea with Zach. I mean, we've seen. I mean, I don't know. Have all of you guys seen the movie that Zack Snyder made on his iPhone, the 4-minute snow steam iron? Have all of you seen that?
I've heard of it.
That is like some of the purest Zack Snyder that you'll ever see. It's just a 4-minute short film. He shot it on his phone. It looks unbelievable.
Yeah, it's Charles Dickens mixed with like Zack Snyder. It's just beautiful. It's basically like a revolving Baroque painting of just all this kind of tragedy that's popping off at this one moment. It's breathtaking though, the way it's shot. Like it. Yeah. Like, like the panoramic scenes at the beginning of Watchmen, it's a lot like that, but it's more old timey and beautiful, like Zod said.
Yeah, it's almost like you when you think about that, and that kept popping into my head a lot when I was checking out the Army of the Dead trailer today. One of the things about that just kept jumping out at me is this is what Zack Snyder. Where Zack Snyder is most at home. You could tell he's comfortable. He's in his element. He's doing what he wants to do. He can focus and he can make what he wants. He doesn't have people, telling him what he has to do, telling him to throw jokes in here, telling him to do this, telling him to lighten this up. He can tell whatever story he sees fit to tell. And that to me is I mean, it's a true gift. And Army of the Dead is going to make all of his critics just like sitting there. I can't wait to see what Scott Mendelson is going to say about Army of the Dead, because Scott Mendelson has been one of the most vocal Zack Snyder haters, blue check marks out there.
I will never forget when Scott commented on the leaked trailer, DC fandom, and Zack Snyder quote tweeted him and just absolutely destroyed him. That was one of the funniest things ever.
Yeah, well, Scott Mendelson is one of those people that like is a glutton for punishment. He just keeps coming back for more. He's never satisfied. No matter how many times Zack Snyder spanks him, he continues to come back. It's like. What is wrong with you? How much pain do you like? Please, sir, can I have another? I mean, my God, dude, like, you're crazy. Zach is gonna make you. I mean, and Zach just keeps making him more and more irrelevant every single time. And our special guest who was going to join us earlier, he was running a little late. He was probably pumping iron. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Matt, what's up, my friend?
Welcome. Not much. What's going on, guys?
There it goes. we're hanging out here just talking about that massively awesome Army of the Dead trailer.
That looked dope. That looked incredible. I'm actually excited for it. I haven't been this excited for a zombie movie since World War Z. This just looks like a cool concept.
Yeah. Yeah, so I got to ask Matt right off the bat, because we've been talking about this. We got to ask you, man, the zombie tiger. What's your take, bro?
Oh God, I mean, geez, I don't know how I mean, let's just go crazy at this point, right? Like that's insane. I didn't think
the thing that blew me the most though is that they have like this whole zombie society. Like there's like a zombie queen.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a character named Zeus who runs the Olympus where all of the zombies gather, and that's where it's like a religious cult in a way. Like just really interesting ideas I've never seen as
it's a unique idea. I like it. I can't believe Warner Brothers turned it down.
I was just saying.
Speaking of Warner Brothers, Taylor makes a good point here. He says WB will realize they made this mistake in a few years. I feel like Warner Brothers, if they don't already know that they've made nothing but mistakes and that they're not, they're already lost. I don't think Warner Brothers is ever going to be back in prominence again. If they lose, here's the thing. I think they're going to lose. I think they're going to lose Zack Snyder. I really do. I have this feeling that Zack Snyder may never do another movie for them again. And if that's the direction he chooses to go, I'm completely fine with it, because they did him so dirty that if there's any filmmaker that, deserves to walk away and be more prosperous than they ever were before, it's Zack Snyder. So,
well, last I saw, it looked like they were going to lose Chris Nolan too. He ain't very happy with them at all either.
Let's go there. Let's go there, Johnny, because I think that domino is about to fall. Is going to fall next. Yeah, they lose Chris Nolan. They lose Zack Snyder. Looks like they're going to lose. Looks like they're on track to lose Patty Jenkins, depending on how successful.
Well, Denis Villeneuve too. He's still upset about what's going on with the Dune movie.
Yeah, he's still upset about Dune. So they're pissing off all the major filmmakers that they have, and so Warner Brothers is going to become like the Asylum in terms of films.
I think they're more so going to become the new Sony Pictures. For a while, Sony Pictures in like the late 2000s, early 2010s was like the joke of the industry in a lot of regards. It took a long time to rebuild their reputation. That's
Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is getting laughed at. All these studio execs are pointing the finger, laughing at Toby Emmerich and all of them, and like, you guys had Zack Snyder. You guys had the biggest. Social media. You had the most social media buzz of any studio for years with that Snyder Cut stuff, and you squandered it. And now look at what you're doing. And now Zack is about to come out with another big movie, like a couple months later. It's insane. I'm more excited for Army of the Dead than I am Mortal Kombat or anything that Warner Brothers has coming out, even Dune. I mean, I'm excited to see Dune, granted, but Army of the Dead looks to me like it's going to be the movie of the year.
And it's because I truly believe that Warner Brothers thinks that they don't need Zack Snyder. I truly believe that. And it's an ego thing. Like, why are they going to be proven wrong when, they don't want the fans to be like, oh, you see, you should have kept with Zack Snyder's vision. And Warner Brothers hates that. They hate being proven wrong, and that their ego is going to be their downfall. They hate that shit. They hate that the fact that the fans won, they got what they wanted, and people are loving Zack Snyder's Justice League, which they didn't believe the public, the general public, not just the hardcore fans, were going to love Zack Snyder's Justice League. And once they saw that, they saw all the praise, you would think, as a smart businessman, you'd be like, okay, let's capitalize on this. How can we get Zack back? But instead, they're like, no, it's over. We have Bat Wheels. We have Birds of Prey 2. We have all that other garbage that no one cares about. So
I will say, I know it's not the popular take on this panel. I am excited for the Batman with Robert Pattinson.
Okay, good. I'm excited for it too. I thought you were going to say Birds of Prey 2 or some shit.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about the Pattinson movie. Under any other circumstances, I might be excited for the Batman movie. But considering the way WB treats their filmmakers, considering the way that WB, basically craps all over every fan base and pretty much just says, take what we give you and like it, we don't care. I personally will not see the Batman in theaters. I'm telling you that right now. They are not going to get a nickel from me for the way that they're treating, and I'm very, very seriously considering dumping HBO Max too.
I think I vaguely remember what one of those is, but what is a theater?
What is a theater?
What is this theater that you speak of, ZodWriter?
Well, for me right now, you know what a movie theater is? It's called a Oculus Quest 2. That's what the theater. That's what the movie theater is at this point for me.
Well,
but no,
yeah.
I'm not.
Well,
I'm not
even right now,
any
Warner
other
Brothers
shit.
is still doing dumb stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys saw this, but on the HBO Max YouTube channel, they put out a video saying the complete trailer for Zack Snyder's completed trilogy. And I'm like, why is HBO Max saying it's a completed trilogy? Like, they put out a video just now saying trailer for the trilogy. Like, the trilogy
because they're done. Yeah, because they're done. Because they're not doing anything else. They want to reinforce the fact that they're not.
It's HBO Max though. That's HBO Max's YouTube channel.
Yeah, but see, WB is sticking their filthy hands in there again. Hamada, you see, this is what it is. It's all about misdirection. It's all about let's distract these people over here. Let's make these people over here believe that this is all that there is. Because what they want to do, RJ, is they want to give us this psychological, belief that it's over, so that we'll stop campaigning for it, so that we won't talk about it anymore. We'll just accept our trilogy and move on. That's what they want us to do. And honestly, this Army of the Dead movie is just going to put Zack Snyder back in people's minds again. See, this is where WB makes their mistake. You would think that they would want to capitalize, like Truth was saying, about the success of the Snyder Cut. You'd think they'd want to embrace that, because he's got another movie about to drop that's gonna make everybody look like children. So now what do we do? It's like WB really is. I think WB's in trouble, and honestly, I kind of feel like this Mortal Kombat movie is going to be crap too. I'm really kind of, when it comes to WB, I have like no confidence in them creatively, in their decisions, what they do. I think that they're a completely misguided company at this point.
Yeah. Especially with the upcoming Flash movie, where Michael Keaton might not even be in the
Flash
movie.
Movie's gonna, I'm gonna say it right now, that Flash movie is gonna be hot garbage.
Yeah,
I'm with you guys on that 100%. It's gonna be trash, and I still say that I don't think Michael Keaton is gonna be in it, and it's gonna end up being Christian Bale. I've been saying that. I'm telling you.
Honestly, I think they want both of them. I could see a reality where they somehow get Michael Keaton at the last minute, and they still have both of them. Now they got like three Batman on the screen.
I think it
should be Clooney or nothing. Clooney or nothing.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. With the way WB does stuff, they might as well get Clooney, because let's be honest, Clooney would probably fit their vision a little better.
Oh, Flash, I'm Batman.
Rest in peace, Adam West. But if Adam West was still alive, they would 100% get him too, and Burt Ward.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That would have been cool, though. I actually really like Adam West Batman. I know that's an unpopular take, but I enjoy the hell out of it. So it would be neat if he was still around and they could have put him in something like that.
I mean, I could see them doing Linda Carter or Wonder Woman in that movie.
I would love. Well, yeah, Linda Carter. I would love to see Adam West in the movie. I think that he should have been WB's Batman. If they really wanted to go that route, before, they should have made a Dark Knight Returns movie with Adam West as Batman before we lost Adam West.
Yeah. I just don't see Christian Bale coming to do the Flash movie, because the Flash movie is so trash that Christian Bale would rather do Thor: Love and Thunder, rather have Natalie Portman as Thor.
That movie looks hype, man. I'm sorry, I love Ragnarok. He's gonna be Gore the God.
Oh God, Gore the God is a great character. Dude, you loved Ragnarok. That's a lot.
I loved Ragnarok.
Ragnarok is an awesome film, dude. If you like 80s trash sci-fi, it's badass. I don't care if it's a good Thor movie or whatever, but it's a rad little sci-fi flick, man.
Oh God, there's few movies that I hate more than Thor Ragnarok. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Oh, I hate it. Oh yeah, because listen, Spawn at least got a director's cut. Okay, so we at least got to see a little bit.
Ragnarok, if it has a director's cut, okay, I will.
Well, no.
I can do.
Ragnarok to me is what WB said the Snyder Cut was, which is unwatchable.
It's Justice League.
But nobody lied about what Ragnarok was supposed to be. See, like Justice League, they kind of put it out like, oh no, this is still going to be like Zacky's thing and stuff. And then they put it out and it's got like all those like Willy Wonka colors and the ending that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Like a plot that pretty much made no sense whatsoever. When you watched it, you couldn't see like, let alone one competent director, let alone two working on the film. Whereas Ragnarok, I think everybody knew that it was just going to be a silly ass Disney movie. The entire time it was being
to me, it was a great homage to Flash Gordon and some of the sci-fi serials back in the day. It reminded me more of like He-Man or Master of the Universe, which I really liked.
I love you, but it was. I mean, I love it, but it wasn't ever advertised as anything else but that. You know what I mean? It wasn't trying to be like, oh yeah, no, this is part 3 of some hardcore ass trilogy.
Do you know how deep of a story Ragnarok actually is? As a comic book reader,
comic, it's horrible. It is an awful arc, and I do not care that they adapted it very loosely because Matt Fraction can't write his way out of a paper bag.
Boy, Matt Fraction, he wrote an amazing Hawkeye story. I don't know. I liked his Hawkeye comics.
Some people do. I like Adventure Man and November. He's written 2 good books this year, but usually I don't waste my money on his stuff. But
hey, his Hawkeye stuff's legit though. I love the Hawkeye stuff he did.
Well, let's just say his Thor wasn't very good. At least I don't know people who rate it very highly either. So it was weird that they made a movie based off of one of his. Plus, but I mean, it's not like they ruined one of Walt Simonson's greats. You know what I mean? Like a real like Thor arc that people love. Like when he fought the Celestials.
Speaking of comics, though, Donny Cates, who did the Venom comics, he's writing a great Thor book right now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm when it comes to Ragnarok, I'm out. What about you, Matt? What do you think of Thor Ragnarok?
I haven't seen it since the theater, so I mean, I'm not really. I mean, I don't really care. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you know, whatever. I just don't see myself rewatching it.
Well, yeah. Well, see, that to me is a problem with a lot of the Marvel movies. For me, a lot of the Marvel movies, there's no real rewatchability with any of those films.
And I'm the weirdo over here who watches all of them at least twice.
I don't
watch them a lot.
Hey, you're a grinder, man.
you're a grinder. That's a good way of looking at it. You're one of the people that you make up for people like me.
You're not alone. I agree with Zod a bit. Like they have tiers. There are some that are very, very good, but the rest are pretty mediocre, and they just
I will never rewatch Thor: The Dark World. Thor: The Dark World's the worst Marvel movie.
I actually thought that Thor: The Dark World was way better than Ragnarok. I'm going to tell you that. I enjoyed Dark World better than Ragnarok, and I actually thought
I totally forgot about Dark World.
The very first Thor is a masterpiece by comparison. Honestly, the very first one, directed by Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
Wow. Now that was a good film.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the first
Thor works best in Avengers movies, not just solo movies.
Go ahead, Truth.
I think Thor works best in Avengers movies and team-up movies, not his solo movies. Because to be honest, his solo films have been, in my opinion, just garbage, unwatchable. So I'm just like, to me, I really like Chris Hemsworth. If you haven't seen Extraction on Netflix,
oh my God,
that movie's amazing.
Great movie, yes.
So for me, his solo films as Thor hasn't been the best. I'm not excited for Jane Foster to take up the mantle as Thor. I think that's a horrible idea. Although that was a trash idea in the comics. So for me, I was just like, you know what? If they just kill off Thor, I think that would be just best for me. just kill off the character and
nah, man, they already got rid of Iron Man and Cap, man. They can't get rid of another Trinity member.
Well, Lord Koj says here, I was expecting the Ragnarok apocalypse, like in the comics, as the epic Ragnarok in the Norse, and in DC Comics, where Thor and Wonder Woman and Superman fought for years in hell. Yeah. But we didn't get that. So again, that's too much for Marvel. Marvel would never go in that direction theatrically. I guess we'll go around. I'm gonna go around the panel now and ask each and every one with you. We're gonna start with you with RJ, since RJ seems to be the resident Marvel guy on the panel right now. What's your favorite? All-time favorite MCU movie?
Oh, that's easy. That's easy for sure. I think it's Infinity War.
Okay, Matt.
I still like Iron Man, the first Iron Man.
Okay, Truth.
Winter Soldier.
Johnny.
Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. They're tied.
And for me, I'm with Truth on this. Winter Soldier.
That's
The way.
my second favorite. That should be at everybody's very top of the list, in my opinion. It's
definitely in my top 3.
It's to me, Winter Soldier was the most for me. It felt it felt the least like a Marvel movie, and it also felt like the best Marvel movie because they actually tried to adapt a storyline in a convincing and faithful way. I really enjoyed Winter Soldier. I think that's the Marvel movie that stands out to me. If I'm gonna go back and rewatch a Marvel film, that's the one that I'm gonna watch because
that's probably why I love Falcon Winter Soldier as much as I do because it does have a lot of those Winter Soldier vibes I love.
I don't know about that, man.
It's a good show.
That TV show to me
the first episode sucked, but like after that, it gets really good, man.
Are you sure about that? Because I don't know, Johnny. That Winter Soldier, that TV show to me is just I don't know.
There's a surprise cameo at the very last episode. You got to watch it all the way through.
Division.
Oh yeah,
could be.
You guys joke about that,
away,
but
so
apparently all the scoopers are saying a big famous actress is going to be in episode 5, playing a character new to the MCU, and I'm like, I'm not believing any of this because we all got.
It's like we were supposed to get. Weren't we supposed to get Reed Richards in WandaVision? Isn't that
or Magneto or
Fantastic Four?
But it was the fans' fault. Yeah, that we thought.
Yeah.
And apparently, isn't John Watts directing the new Fantastic Four movie?
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to MCU Fantastic Four, honestly.
Fantastic Four. See, here's the problem.
It should be on TV. That should be on TV.
Meddling is the problem with Fantastic Four. Anytime a director comes in and wants to make a Fantastic Four movie, the studio always meddles and screws with it, and it ends up being crap. And which is why, to me, there will only be one Fantastic Four movie that anybody ever needs to see. If you want a true Fantastic Four movie, this is it right here. Roger Corman's Fantastic Four.
Now, that's amazing that you have a Blu-ray of that, man.
This is one of my guilty pleasure Blu-rays. I watched this movie quite a bit, actually. I would have to say I say Winter Soldier is my favorite MCU movie, but this is my favorite Marvel movie of all time. Whoa. Because this movie was made in the 90s, and it has for me, it has like a 1960s, 1970s
made for $1 million
vibe. Made for $1 million, yes.
1 million.
The Doctor Doom mask in this movie is cheaper than the Doctor Doom mask that
but it looks
Mad Max wears on his YouTube channel.
My bad. I didn't know he was going to say you. I thought he was going to talk about the guy in the Fox movies. I didn't know he was going to talk about you, Max. My bad.
No, Max. I have to talk about Max because Max has a very great Doctor Doom mask that he wears. That's movie quality. That is of higher quality than the.
Oh, we got to see it now.
Yeah,
bust it out.
I think you're confusing Matt with Max.
It's not me. Yeah, I'm not Max.
Matt and Max are not the same person, Johnny. Two different people there. Okay, Rel McMillan says, "Hey everyone, Bell Mendes. Oh, okay, cool. Hey Bell, how you doing? I'm over here. I thought for a minute there, I thought you were somebody else. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. All this mistaken identity. It's just like Johnny over here. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought he was talking about the one with Chris Evans. I was like, oh
no. Captain America movie from the 90s though.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah,
it's bad and cheesy. I
listen.
Like
I talked to that director. I interviewed him. And Albert Pune directed the 90s Captain America movie, and that's another movie that's, near and dear to my heart as far as Marvel's concerned. It's not as good as Fantastic Four, but it's up there.
Matt Salinger was a good Cap, though. I mean, like, he really embodied the whole cheesy goodness of the character. Almost, I'd say, probably better as good as Evans, if you do watch it.
Yeah, he is. He's really good. And I think they made the Red Skull. One of the funny things in that movie was they made the Red Skull Italian, which would be like which would be like making Captain America Canadian. And so I'm just saying,
accent comes through when he talks to you, which I love.
Yeah, so it's good. And and by the way, there's also a director's cut available of that if you can find it. It's actually really good. Oh, okay. And Koj says, "Sorry, Zod, I do not like that '90s Captain." You got to see the director's cut. Got to see the director's cut. I'm just gonna put it out there. The director's cut is awesome.
How do you feel about Ben Affleck's Daredevil movie, the director's cut?
I like it.
It's watchable, at least. Yeah, the parts with Coolio, like, it's as weird as that sounds, Coolio actually made the movie better. That's awesome. That's some Gangster's Paradise shit right there.
It's great. Listen, I think, and it's another one of those situations where maybe if they would have released the Daredevil director's cut in theaters, it would have been better received.
Oh, no. Colin Farrell was so terrible as Bullseye. I don't think that movie would ever been completely salvageable, but the director's cut is definitely way more watchable. Yeah. It's still a terrible film, though.
To be honest, I like the Fox Fantastic Four, not love it, but enjoyed them. Yeah, here's the thing though, with those Fantastic Four movies, we again, it's always studio meddling. Because I don't think it's necessarily a problem with the cast that they get. They've had some pretty good casts for Fantastic Four. For example, Josh Trank's Fantastic Four had a really good cast. Josh Trank wanted to do some really good things with the Fantastic Four, and the studio meddled. And we ended up getting a crappy movie. And that's the problem. I think you these movies have so much potential, and I keep asking, how do you screw up the Fantastic Four? That's why to me there's never been a better Fantastic Four movie than the Roger Corman movie, and that's never actually been officially released.
It's crazy to me that still Disney's made the best Fantastic Four movie technically with The Incredibles. Yeah. I mean, that's like the vibe you got to go for, superpowered family.
Fantastic Watchmen. Like it is. It's kind of Fantastic Four, but with the story of the Watchmen. Good movie, though.
Yeah. I agree with you. I agree, with everyone here. The Bullseye was definitely trash. Definitely trash. With over the top trash, and the jump around playing in the background. Okay. We just have, they just have too much time on their hands with that Daredevil movie. They didn't know what type of film they were going for. I think they just thought they were just gonna make money based off of
they should have stopped and watched the special effects and saw if they actually looked good or not. Because when he breaks that stained glass window and he catches all the little shards and then he just spins and they kind of all just like fly out of his hands towards Ben Affleck, like it looks so terrible. It looks so fake. Who looked at that and was like, "Oh, this is going to blow audiences away"? I mean, like I still watch that and I'm just like, who okayed that shot being in the film? Like it's terrible.
I will say Daredevil's Ben Affleck's suit is far superior than Charlie Cox's Daredevil suit. I will say that.
I don't know, man. Those are some fighting words, man. I don't know about that.
That Charlie Cox suit in Daredevil is horrific. It's garbage. His cowl does not fit his head. I'm sorry. And the suit, it looks like something from Christopher Nolan's backyard. It doesn't
Christopher Nolan's backyard. Yeah, that's awesome.
Say what you about the costume though, but that Daredevil show is legit. I love Daredevil show so much.
Oh, absolutely. We cannot deny that the best thing to come out of Marvel in modern times is their Daredevil TV show.
Yeah.
Which was of course on Netflix, so we can just So we could just kind of leave that there. That Daredevil, the best thing to come out of Marvel was a Netflix show.
And I do not want Charlie Cox's Daredevil to be integrated with Trash Holland Spider-Man. I don't want that.
Yeah,
wait. Did you just call him Trash Holland?
Yeah.
Yeah, Trash Holland. That's
Oh, come on, man. He's
so
a good
far.
Spider-Man. Come on.
Even
He's a
Tom
good
Holland was
Spider-Man.
way better, man. Like
who?
Andrew Garfield was better than Tom Holland in my
Peter
opinion.
Parker was terrible, man. He was too cool for school.
Tom Holland. I mean,
Holland's not much better. I'm not defending Holland. I'm just saying.
No, I'll defend Holland. I'll defend Tom Holland. Yeah, I think he embodies everything that the character needs to be. I mean, that's just my perspective on it. I get the whole Iron Boy Jr. stuff, but that's more a criticism of the writing, not the performance.
My hope for the Spider-Verse movie is that they kill off Trash Holland and Tobey Maguire comes in and takes his spot and is the leader of the new Avengers movies. That's my hope.
No, that's never happened.
Oh my God! If that truth, if that were to happen, oh my God, that would be insane. Talk about subverting people's expectations, bro.
If anything, Tobey Maguire would be the Spider-Man to die in that movie.
I hope not. I hope not.
Well, Tom Holland doesn't have to die. He could just become Night Monkey. Like
that's what I say. I've wanted them to drop the Spider-Man moniker and just do a Night Monkey movie with him forever, and they're not doing it. I don't know why. That would be great. That would work.
He's not Spider-Man. He's Iron Man Jr. That's who he is. That's the way they portray Trash Holland. There's nothing about Trash Holland Spider-Man. I don't.
I disagree. I'm sorry.
I love all this. I love all this trash. I love all this Trash Holland hate. Truth. I love it because I can't stand him either. I think he was horribly miscast.
Yeah.
I don't think he resembles Peter Parker at all. At least not the Peter Parker I used to read. I don't know how that character. And like again, the whole Iron Man Jr. element to me was completely unnecessary. I mean, we still don't even know if Uncle Ben exists.
Yeah,
in the MCU.
He does. His suitcase. They do mention in the movie, like he does talk about it.
All right, his suitcase.
Suitcase, I guess.
Well, the thing is, though, is that the thing is that Sony wanted them to distinguish it from any other version to make it unique to the MCU. So they had to do certain things with the character and take it in a different direction. So they already hindered a little bit creatively. So I understand what they were going for. I mean, at least personality-wise, what Tom Holland does, I think he does represent Peter Parker. It is different, but I don't mind it.
Okay. So now we'll go across the panel here. Belle Reeve, Mendez, Andrew Garfield, Peter Parker is just too cool. I don't know. I liked Andrew Garfield in the role because he kind of reminded me of like
a nerd,
the Peter Parker of later comics that they've done of like different runs. Like it depends on the comic book run, but he definitely had a vibe, kind of. But let's go around the room again. We'll start with you, RJ. Favorite Spider-Man?
Actor or movie?
No, just the actor, Spider-Man, Peter Parker character. In the movies.
Okay. My favorite.
So I guess I should say favorite live action Spider-Man.
Oh, you bastard!
So you can include all.
My answer.
Okay, with live action, then I got to go with Tobey Maguire.
Okay, Matt.
Yeah, Maguire.
Truth.
Maguire.
Johnny.
Nicolas Cage is Spider-Man Noir.
All right, and with me, for the live action, I gotta go with Maguire as well for live action. Although I do like the Spider-Man from the 1970s Spider-Man TV show. That dude looked like he was like 36 when he was playing Spider-Man.
You know what though? The Japanese Spider-Man live action show.
Oh yeah.
That's wonderful too. That's a wonderful show.
Spider-Man needs a mech, dude. Honestly, like he doesn't have to be in every issue. Just have it pop up every now and then, man. It was so gangster.
I will say though, the best Spider-Man movie to me still is Into the Spider-Verse. I love that movie so much.
No argument there, at least for me.
Not for me.
Really?
Okay. Well, here we go. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do this again. I love this panel. You guys are just coming up with some gems today. Okay, favorite Spider-Man live action film. We'll start with you again, RJ.
Live action movie. Okay, Spider-Man 2 for best live action.
Okay, Matt.
RJ doesn't miss. Spider-Man 2. That's it.
Truth.
Spider-Man 2.
Johnny Alpha.
The first Tugboat Spider-Man movie. I like the first one.
Okay, and for me, Spider-Man 2. I will actually say Spider-Man 2.1, the extended
director's
cut of director's
You know
cut.
what? You know what? Actually, since we're talking Spider-Man, I have a hot take. It's gonna get me in trouble. Maybe Spider-Man 3 is not a bad movie. It's not as bad as people say.
If you watch the producer's cut of Spider-Man 3,
I think both cuts work. I think
I think the producer's cut is quite good. I think they did some unique things with it. It helped me enjoy Spider-Man 3 again when I went and revisited it, because there's some things
like they were too ambitious. They should have saved them.
Yeah.
That was because Sony wanted Venom. Sam Raimi said no. I just want to do Sandman and New Goblin. But she was like, no, you gotta do Venom, man. Venom's really popular.
Dude, I wonder where we'd be right now if there was no studio interference.
We would have had a Spider-Man 6.
Oh my God, we would have had that Sinister 6 movie, guys.
Yeah, because Spider-Man 4, I believe, was going to have John Malkovich as the Vulture, and it was going to have Black Cat in it as the villains. And I think Spider-Man 5 was going to have Hobgoblin or something. I don't remember.
That would have been dope. That's the kind of villains I want to start seeing, is stuff like Black Cat and Hobgoblin. Those are dope ass villains that you never get to see in live action.
Yeah, well, if the rumors are true, apparently, once this next Tom Holland movie comes out, it's the end of the high school trilogy, and they're going to move to the college trilogy. So they want to start using more characters like Craven and Black Cat.
Tom Holland still doesn't look like he's old enough to go to college. Tom Holland looks like he's got at least 2 or 3 more years to go in high school. So
I cannot wait for Trash Holland, the college years, and he's still crying over Zendaya. That's gonna be fun. Jesus Christ.
Hey, I like Zendaya in those movies. I like MJ. Well, I don't know. I heard that this new Spider-Man movie is going to be the darkest one, though. Like, they actually are trying to go a little bit more By
Marvel standards, what's dark?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Well, Winter Soldier would be considered dark.
Yeah.
Right. So you would almost
remember it's going to connect to Doctor Strange 2, though. So it's going to
and Doctor Strange 2 is going to be more of a horror type movie. I've actually got a little bit of hope for Doctor Strange 2 because it's Sam Raimi.
I hope they do great with Blade for horror.
They're not though. They've already said it's going to be a PG-13 Blade movie, and I don't know how you can do a PG-13.
You can do a lot of stuff with PG-13. Like, just because it's PG-13, I wouldn't write it off because.
But not Blade though.
Yeah.
Blade
here's the thing: the MPAA says as long as it's monsters, robots, or aliens, you can cut them up, do whatever you want to them. If the vampires look more monstrous, Blade can still cut them up and do his thing.
But for me, Blade doesn't fit within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I like the fact that he's on his own. Like, I don't want him mixing it up with Captain Marvel and Trash Holland and Doctor Strange. I don't like that.
What do you guys feel about this Mobius film with what's his name, Jared Leto? That looks pretty dope, right?
I don't know.
And that's gonna be dark. And that's going to be dark as well.
The closest we're going to have to Blade and Dave.
No, the weird stuff to me is that Sony is connecting their movies to the MCU, even though the MCU will never acknowledge them. Like, they have Michael Keaton and Morbius as Vulture, and they show a prison breakout. Like, I don't know what's going on. It's weird. I don't know what's going on over there at Sony. They're just like, hey, we're going to connect it, even if they won't officially acknowledge us. Yeah. It's like Sony's acting like the stalkerish boyfriend who won't leave the girl alone. It's like, well, I'll keep sending you messages, but you don't have to reply. I just want you to know I exist.
Well, the MCU really doesn't need Spider-Man. They proved that with all the films they made before Civil War, and he really hasn't done that much since being in there. So, honestly, if Sony
they need to just make him Night Monkey. Yeah. They need to just make him Night Monkey and be done with it, and let Sony have their own Spider-Man, and not. I mean, I don't
Well, have you guys
understand
seen the
because
rumors,
Tom
though?
Holland
They
because
wanna-
Tom Holland is so different from what Spider-Man actually is as a character that like they could get away with.
Well, I was going to ask
Monkey.
if this new movie is Spider-Verse. There's been rumors saying that Sony does want to have Tobey Maguire come back, like as the official Sony. Like they want to have two competing Spider-Mans, kind of like the MC does their own thing, and they'll have their own Spider-Man. Would you be on board for that? Because there was rumors too they might do Miles Morales in the Sonyverse, which I don't know. I don't know which one I would want, to be honest.
I think we have more of a chance at this point of getting a Miles Morales than Tobey Maguire suiting up for more concurrent Spider-Man movies.
I agree.
I mean, like, what was the last thing I seen him in? I don't think I've seen Tugboat in a long time.
You know, that's a good question. I'm gonna look it up. I think the last movie he did was like a voice role in The Boss Baby or something. Like he's not working at all.
It's funny because Tobey Maguire hasn't done anything in years, and yet people are more excited for Spider-Man 3 because of Tobey Maguire.
He hasn't even read the script.
That just goes to show you how much fucking
Keaton, he doesn't know shit about this movie. That'd be funny.
Yeah, the last big movie he did was a voice role in The Boss Baby. That was literally the last thing he did. He has not been anything since.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
How sad is it that Marvel needs to beg Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire to come back for Spider-Man 3 because they don't have
begging. They weren't begging. They weren't begging for it. They wanted to come back.
No,
because they want that. Well, they need them because they want to do that. They want to do that live action Spider-Verse movie. That's the only reason.
Because DC already, Warner Brothers had already talked about doing the Flash with Michael Keaton and all.
Yeah,
these
well, that's what I told Zod. That's what I told. Yeah, that's what I told Zod many times. Marvel is going to beat them to the punch of the multiverse because Spider-Man and Doctor Strange are coming out like 6 to 8 months before that Flash movie even gets off the ground. They're wrapping up their multiverse story when DC's only going to start theirs. That's another reason why I think it's going to completely flop and fall on its face.
Yeah.
But DC did announce it first. Marvel is playing catch up to them. It's just Warner Brothers takes forever to put a movie out. Like they're finally working on Black Adam. Like that guy was cast like after Man of Steel was made, like directly after, and they're just barely making that film. So, like it's not for lack of trying, I don't think, on DC's part or Warner Brothers' part. But Jesus, they need to pick up. You know, they need to like hustle. You know, tighten up a little bit, man, because it's getting ridiculous.
No, I agree 100%.
They just need to commit to an outline, dude. They just keep changing it up. Like they keep freaking out. Like it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, and they just keep backing out.
They got no strong leadership.
Yeah, that's what they want to do.
It's not even just that. They have no strong leadership. Walter Hamada isn't really the leader of that place. There's like 8 different people really controlling Warner Brothers. There's no Kevin Feige. If anything, DC needs to splinter off, become its own separate studio on the Warner Brothers lot, and just operate as a separate entity.
I agree.
That Blade TV show rocked too, man, with Sticky Fingers as Blade.
Oh yeah. Man. Yeah.
Good call, Lord Koj.
I need to watch that. I know it's been released on Blu-ray.
Oh, it's great. You got to check it out. It's really good. That actually will give you an idea of how, if the MCU decides to do Blade in a less than R-rated way, they can make it kind of convincing.
I'm sorry, I thought that show was horrible. I'm sorry, I'm the lone wolf on that one. To me, Blade
you know what
is
though? Even though I know you guys are worried about Blade, the actor they picked is perfect though. I love Mahershala Ali. I think he's a great actor.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's a great actor. They just need to make it an R-rated Blade movie so he can have a chance to compete with Wesley Snipes, man.
That'll be in the direction.
You're not gonna get that if it's a PG-13 Blade movie. Too much buckets of blood, too much violence. You can't do Blade. Blade has to essentially be on the level of Mortal Kombat in terms of blood and gore to be convincing.
Well, what if they, like Xena pointed out, what if they just make the blood black? Like it's just like in Lord of the Rings where all the blood was black for like the orcs and stuff. They could do something like that. Might work.
Yeah, they could do that, I guess. I'm just, when I think of Blade, the thing that pops to mind is all that blood coming out in the nightclub from the very first film. That's
the movie.
Yeah.
Or saying stuff like some motherfuckers always try to ice skate uphill. You're not gonna say that in a Disney film.
I would love it though.
Well, it's interesting because in the Marvel comics right now, Blade is like a member of the Avengers, like the main Avengers team, not Dark Avengers, not Secret. He's a main Avenger now. Like they're really pushing him hard in the comics to be with the other characters. So it's interesting.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. I bet because I haven't been reading any Marvel comics lately. So
yeah, they've had Ghost Rider and Blade as full on Avengers members now. Like they're officially part of the team. Like, even the darker characters are mingling up with like the normal Avengers.
That's what they need to do. They need to bring Nicolas Cage in as Ghost Rider into the MCU. Have him in a Tom Holland film. That is a crossover that like is written in the stars, man. Way better than having Daredevil show up.
I want Keanu Reeves to be the new MCU Johnny Blaze. I want Keanu Reeves.
Oh no, Keanu Reeves is not.
Or Norman Reedus.
I don't think his acting could do that. I don't know.
What about Norman Reedus? Norman Reedus is Johnny Blaze.
He'd be good. Yeah. I'd see him more as Danny Ketch though, because he's more calmer. He's not like all high strung and shit like a Johnny Blaze character was. But if they do the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, he'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Nobody has any idea what I just said.
Now, here's an interesting question. What MCU character would you guys most like to see adapted, since we're talking about Marvel right now, that hasn't been adapted? We'll start with you, RJ.
Oh, this one's tough. I would say there's like 3 maybe. I'll say Doctor Doom, Silver Surfer, and Nova.
All right, and you, Matt?
Ghost Rider, Red Hulk. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, Truth.
I'm gonna have to go with Silver Surfer as well. I think that'd be a cool character.
Johnny?
Iron Fist. I know technically we got Iron Fist on Netflix, but that wasn't it. So I'd want to see Iron Fist.
I want to see a serious character study film done a la Joker for Marvel about Doctor Doom. That's what I want to see.
That would be incredible.
Dude.
Like
there was rumors of a Hulu series by Noah Hawley.
Like a dope psychological drama where you get. I mean, I can picture it in my head. Maybe it's a movie I'll make because I can picture there's certain scenes I could just see.
Mikkelsen is Doom, right? Mads Mikkelsen is Doom up in there. That would be so gangster.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yes. You just read my mind. You just like pulled it right out of my head. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like I could see him like sitting in like a small room, being interrogated, and he's just like going crazy because he doesn't, almost like Rorschach from Watchmen, because he doesn't have his Doom mask on, and oh my God, I could see it being this really deep psychological character study. That's the kind of movie I'd like to see done, but I don't think Marvel would ever do anything like that.
Hey, never say never, man. Apparently, they want to do a Doctor Doom TV show by Noah Hawley, so that could get reworked to a Disney Plus show.
He's the guy that did Legion, right? For FX?
Yep, he did Legion.
Oh, then that could actually, but it would still be on Disney something. And I don't know if they would let him be, because like Legion is like one of the coolest, craziest, Twin Peaksiest shows ever made. But I don't know if they would let him get away with it on Disney. But
yeah,
I would take the chance. I would watch it if that got made.
Well, speaking of Iron Fist, though, I was going to mention too, the characters I really want to see get rebooted into the MCU properly are the Inhumans. I really love the Inhumans. I think they're a great concept. Really explore that royal family dynamic. There are rumors that they are going to get soft rebooted into the MCU and like reintroducing the Miss Marvel show on Disney Plus. Like they're going to get like a hard reboot, like recast, like made way better. Because that IMAX, that TV show on ABC was not it. That show sucked. Probably like the worst thing Marvel's ever made.
That's hilarious, though, man. How bad.
And Lord Koj, he's got a great pick down here. He says, "I want Keanu Reeves as Mr. Sinister for the X-Men films." Now that could fit Keanu Reeves.
He's busy though, man. He got his own comic book shit popping off on Netflix. His Boom Studio book Berserker, it got picked up. He's doing a movie, an anime, I think a TV show for it. He's got the whole Zack Snyder thing going off with his own personal comic.
Well, that's
book
the thing. That's the thing. I could never see Keanu Reeves in Marvel. I think that's a great pick, Koj, but I could never see Keanu Reeves joining Marvel. If anything, yeah, like you just pointed out, Johnny, he's going to want to do more of his independent stuff. He knows he can do what he wants. He'll have more creative freedom. If he jumps on board Marvel, he's going to have to do whatever Marvel tells him to do. And it's yeah.
Not his style.
No.
And plus, he was in DC with Constantine, which is an underrated movie, by the way.
Exactly.
They need to make a sequel to that. I heard they were going to. I heard something about him returning to the role a while back. I didn't see what that.
Yeah, well, they were kind of talking about that for this upcoming Flash movie, but this Flash movie looks like it's going to be such a mess. I don't know, like if they even like. So if Keanu Reeves did have a cameo in it as John Constantine. I don't know. I mean,
it wouldn't do
they need Keanu more than Keanu needs them. That's for sure. And Double MJ says, "I want a proper Planet Hulk movie with Edward Norton, but the MCU ruined that." Yeah, I'm with you. I think the MCU had a great Hulk with Edward Norton. I really think Edward Norton had the right idea of the direction to take the Hulk, but they decided to go with Professor Hulk. So I don't know.
Nerd Hulk.
Yeah. Yeah. And Zeno says, give me some Miss Marvel. Okay. What do you guys think of that new Captain Marvel, the Miss Marvel TV show, the girl that they cast for the Disney Plus Miss Marvel show?
I like it. I mean, I think
she actually looks the part, and to me, it's kind of, as far as casting a character that actually looks like the comic book character.
Yeah, she looks like Amala. Yeah, dude, she looks just like her. It's really good, and I'm really excited that they're finally going to do this character. I think Marvel should have did a film for her before.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been hard because they hadn't introduced Captain Marvel yet, but technically, in my opinion, what G. Willow Wilson made with the new Miss Marvel is tantamount to the original Spider-Man. So I just really happy to see that this character is getting the love it deserves, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, that is one Marvel show that I'm interested in, because it actually looks like it could be faithful to what they intended, as far as what they came up with when they created the character. So
I was gone for a second. I missed the
Miss Marvel.
Kamala
Khan.
I am excited for that show. I am kind of a little concerned though, because I have a feeling like the usual suspects are going to say it's woke and it's more going to be like a kid show though. Which, I mean, it's something different from Marvel.
Well, it is woke as fuck, but that doesn't mean it can't be good. Woke things, if they're written well, can be awesome.
No, for sure.
Like Batman White Knight. I'm pretty sure most DC fans won't argue with me about that. Sean Murphy made a woke ass Batman book, but it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great book.
I love White Knight. That was a great story, actually.
Now, would you like to see White Knight adapted into a film at some point, Johnny?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's such a weird story, and like they use everything from all the different movies anyways, because at the end, like all the different Bat people, they hop in different Batmobiles, and you see like the jumper car from the Nolan films. They got if they do all of that in the movie, that would be kind of weird meta, but I don't know, I'd be down, because it's just a really neat little story about what if the Joker was good, or turned good, like could it happen? And I think it was handled expertly, personally.
Now, who would you cast for Joker in that particular story?
I'd actually look for some spazzy kid, some punk, some little punk rocker or something like that. Somebody ain't nobody ever seen before that's funny as fuck.
Speaking of Marvel Disney Plus, just real quick, the one I'm probably most excited for, honestly, that was Moon Knight. I don't know if you guys seen the videos of Oscar Isaac training. He's put in that work, man. He's doing some insane fights choreography so far, and like training. Looks great.
I like Oscar Isaac. He's cool.
Because if they do Moon Knight right, it could be like a great character study, really explore the psychology of the character, like how insane he is and stuff. It could be really neat.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing I'm really excited for it, and I want to see.
But it's going to be on Disney Plus, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, but Zod, it's because it's on Disney Plus.
Mandalorian. I said that about the Mandalorian, and then I was blown away. Like, we legit had like a big Mandalorian lady just smashing stormtrooper heads.
Moon Knight. Moon Knight is Marvel's Batman, right?
No, Moon Knight is a schizophrenic ex-soldier who has to convince himself that he is better than his villains constantly. He's more like more fucked up Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
He's between the two, basically.
I think when he was initially written, like originally conceived, he was more so Marvel's Batman, but he's evolved into something a lot more complex, I would say.
Yeah, especially with the runs by Warren Ellis and Brian Bendis, where they kind of flushed out his 4 different personalities that they actually represent the phases of the moon. And it all came to the curse that he made when he made the deal with the Egyptian moon god. Like, it's neat shit. If they do it right, it could be excellent. But like Zod said, it's on Disney Plus. So we either got to see if it's The Mandalorian or if it's So Raven.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, though, Falcon and Winter Soldier is exploring a lot of interesting stuff. I feel like it's getting to that violent level. I mean, it's still subtle. It's still Disney.
I didn't expect to see
stuff.
I didn't expect to see blood on the shield, man. So yeah, like that show's kind of really impressing me with how dark it's going. That end of season episode 4 was pretty. I know, and a lot of fanboys got all crybaby about it too. But it's like, that's actually a pretty decent adaptation of the U.S. Agent versus the Captain storyline, which was one of the first Captain America books I read as a kid back in the 80s. So it's neat that they're like actually doing a proper an all right adaptation of something so old, because they don't give a shit about newer stuff. Like Zod said, like Ragnarok was such a departure from the comic. Even if I didn't like the comic, it really was like the loosest of adaptations.
Well, wasn't Ragnarok originally like a robot version of Thor? Wasn't there a character named Ragnarok called that or something?
I know that Walt Simonson, the guy that's got famous for doing the best version of Thor, has a comic called Ragnarok that's very Thor-esque, but I don't know about a robot Thor.
Because I know Robot Thor was in Civil War or something too. And speaking of Lord Kojay,
Iron Man made one.
Yeah, Lord Kojay. If Marvel ever does a Civil War 2 adaptation with Iron Man or like some character versus Captain Marvel, I'm out, because that comic was trash. One of the worst things Marvel's ever done.
It was.
Could you imagine the outrage though if like they did like a Captain Marvel, like pick a side? It's like Captain Marvel versus a beloved hero, like Thor or something. I'd be out. I'd be done with that.
You'd be so canceled if you picked anybody. You'd be so canceled if you picked anybody besides Captain Marvel too, man. You'd be so off of Twitter.
Well, I mean, how does everybody on the panel feel about Brie Larson as Captain Marvel? Personally, I didn't particularly care for the movie of Captain Marvel, but I kind of felt like, Brie Larson just worked with what she had. I don't know that I necessarily hated her in the role, but I thought that the movie itself was just pure trash.
I thought she was boss in Endgame. I'll give her that. Like when she shows up and starts beating Thanos' ass, that was pretty gangster.
Yeah, the problems with Captain Marvel are not Brie Larson. She's a good actress, in my opinion. The problem with that movie just comes through the directors. The directors kind of sucked. That's why they're getting the boot. That's why they're not coming back for the sequel. They got
Eddie!
Is he a Brie Larson fan, or is he just trolling?
Oh, my God, dude, Eddie!
Well, hey, the truth. If Eddie comes on the show, you'll see. You'll see.
I just felt like her character was a static character in her movie. I just want some volumes with her acting.
No, for sure. That's why I'm excited for the sequel, because I think Nia DaCosta and Brie Larson could have better director-actress chemistry, and I think that they could actually explore the character a lot better. Because that first movie didn't establish anything very well. I feel like the directors were phoning it in, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But it had blue people in it. Come on, man.
At the scrolls.
Hey, that Secret Invasion show, though, Disney Plus, that could be legit, too.
The Skrull guy, that one when he was yelling at his science officer, that was the best scene in the film. But you're my science guy. That is like the one thing that I would say Captain Marvel has going for it. It was like that one scene. Yeah,
Ben Mendelsohn in that movie's great. I liked him as Talos, the Skrull.
Wasn't the Avengers name, wasn't that named after Brie Larson's plane or something?
Yeah. Yeah, because the idea was that Nick Fury saw the photos, and she was the first superhero ever came in contact with, and her fighter jet plane was the one that crashed, was called the Avenger. So that's why it's called the Avengers. Yeah.
And Nick Fury lost his eye because of her cat.
Yeah.
Well,
we don't talk about
that.
that.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
Oh my god! And Zeno says, I just watched Captain Marvel again. It was more entertaining than I remembered. Great movie. A lot happened.
Okay, now I want to know if this is a joke or not, because I don't know, Eddie, but like out of Zeno, this is a little sus. Are you pulling my leg?
Legit, I was in the Discord. Zeno legit posted pictures of it and said, this movie ain't as bad as I thought it was.
Oh god.
Oh, okay. Usually he's rolling with the one-liners, man. So I never know what the.
Unless it's like the most elaborate troll ever, I think he's genuine.
He's at the acceptance
I will say this: I love Eddie's Brie Larson fetish. I think that's awesome. That is so hilarious because he talks a lot about how much he loves Brie Larson on all the streams.
Have you seen Eddie's Twitter though? Whenever Brie Larson posts, he replies or says, "Hey, look at my profile picture, Miss Brie Larson." And he keeps wanting her attention.
Oh my God! Eddie is awesome. Eddie is awesome. And speaking of Eddie, we're gonna welcome Eddie to the ZodWriter Show, our resident Brie Larson fanatic. What's up, Eddie?
What's up, everyone? I heard Brie Larson, so I had to get on.
Yeah. Hey. Well, you were pretty much repping Brie Larson, man. So we had to bring you on. What do you think of all this, man? What's your take on Captain Marvel and Brie Larson? Did you like the movie?
Wait, let me get ready first. It will take a moment.
All right, highlight Mendez real quick.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna bring
away.
I'm gonna bring Belle Reeve up here.
So yeah,
I'll take it away quick.
All right. All right. Let's get a good look there at Eddie. Check that out. Check out the shirt that Eddie's wearing, people.
Oh boy,
Eddie.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, Eddie. Good job. Wow, bro.
Me and Eddie coordinated. We bought the same shirt and wore it to the same stream to troll everybody.
That is now that's a fan. What do you think, Johnny? You think Eddie's got the right idea?
I don't see why not. I mean, like, I'm kind of that way with Margot, but I don't like yell about it too often. But yeah.
Truth is so quiet right now. I wonder what Truth thinks of this.
No, listen, that's totally normal. I'm not judging whatsoever.
That's totally normal.
More power to you, bro.
Oh, that is great. That is just so amazing. Let's see.
If he loves Brie Larson, he loves Brie Larson. Who am I to judge? It's 2021, so
yeah. Oh, that's true. Everybody has their passions.
I gotta say I agree with you, Zeno. Like, straight up. I mean, it's not like one of the best MCU films, but like it's right there in the mediocre pile of ones that you can watch and have a nice movie night that you can watch.
It's in that bottom tier. It's the kind of movie you just watch when you're bored.
Yeah, with like Doctor Strange 1, Ant-Man 2.
I wouldn't put Doctor Strange. I actually like that movie a lot. I think it's like at least like the upper middle tier.
Marvel's better than Doctor Strange.
What? Are you crazy, man? Doctor Strange, like the visuals in that movie alone make it fun to watch. I saw that movie in IMAX. It was great.
I saw that movie when it was called Dark City when I was like in high school. It was awesome.
Oh boy. So we have some very diametrically opposing views on Brie Larson here on this show. Some of us are one way, and then others are here with Belle Reeve that Brie Larson is trash.
I don't hate Brie Larson, by the way.
We're gonna go ahead and take a poll here. Let's start with you, RJ. Brie Larson, trash or not?
Not trash. She's good.
Okay, Matt, Brie Larson, trash or not?
As a person or an actor? Where are we going with that?
Well, just in terms of, I guess you could just say overall, trash or not?
No, I'll just say not. No.
All right, Eddie?
Nope.
Okay. Truth?
Not trash.
Okay, Johnny?
Not.
And me, I'm kind of split down the middle. I kind of think in some ways she's okay, and then in other ways I have to agree with Belle Reeve. She's trash. Okay,
gotta
so
for acting. That's it.
yeah, it's more to do with acting.
You know what?
But she does have a YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen, and she's got more subscribers than any of us. So, that's
Yeah.
way to make us feel bad.
I wanted to ask real quick, Eddie. Eddie, so did you see? You talked to me, and you were the one who showed me that. What are your thoughts on that HBO Max YouTube trailer where they put a big thing saying it's the completion of Zack Snyder's trilogy? Because now I'm getting upset about it. I'm legit getting angry that they're perpetuating that whole thing.
Yeah, that's got me to the point where I'm about ready to cancel HBO Max now because they're doing that.
Well, what are you going to watch on it since the cut came out? I mean, that's why you bought the thing, right, Zod? Or that's what I always thought.
Well, yeah, mainly because of the Snyder cut, but you see, the thing is,
supposed to be MK2, Mortal Kombat. I know you're a fan of it.
I like having Cartoon Network stuff on there. I mean, I like classic cartoons.
All right. Here's the thing. Lord Koj brought up something. Drop this up. You mentioned Dark City, Johnny. Dark City, the director's cut. Your opinion?
I like it because it cuts out that monologue at the beginning that completely kills the twist of the film. And some of the special effects of CGI is a little too easy to see, but it's a decent director's cut. I don't really have a preferred version of the film though. Dark City just fucking rocks. It's one of the best films ever.
Dark City is just great. Yeah, I have to agree. I love Dark City.
I'm adding that to the watch list because I've actually never seen Dark City before.
Wow,
director of the Crow. Oh my! If you like really kind of gothy looking films,
I've seen The Crow. I've just never seen Dark City.
This one's more noir-y, sci-fi. Dude, it's badass. Like, it's one of the best films of the 90s you never hear about.
All right, cool. Matt, what do you think of Dark City?
Oh, I got to watch it, too. I've never seen it.
Oh, you got to check it out? Okay. Eddie, what about you? You seen Dark City, man?
Yeah, but I didn't know there was a director's cut.
Okay. What about you, Truth?
I've seen it years ago. I have to rewatch it. But from what I remember, I like it. I like the tone, the dark stuff. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And Lord Koj says either is fantastic, theatrical and director's cut. Yeah, I think Dark City is amazing. I can watch. That's one of those rare instances where I can watch either cut and not really care one way or the other because I think they're both awesome. But I think the director's cut is awesome too. And Zeno says Dark City is brilliant. Yeah. That's one thing we can definitely agree on, Zeno. Dark City for sure. It's a hidden gem. It's like Howard the Duck.
I actually watched the Howard the Duck.
A hidden gem like Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck to me is very underrated. I think I
love that movie.
Really great movie.
I don't even remember how young I was the first time I saw it, and yeah, ever since childhood, it's been one. Hey, Philzy, yeah. Every time I see Tim Robbins, man, I always think there's Philzy because that fucking movie.
Yeah, but Eddie, I mean, are you as mad about that whole thing as me, or what? Because I wanted your take on it because I don't know if you made a video on it yet.
Yeah, I did instantly when I saw it, but I did not expect that to be on HBO Max to release something like that. I thought people were saying HBO Max was supposed to be on our side, but if they're saying it now, then what's the point of anything now? Because they're really trying to make us say. I
think they're doing that because they know that Zack Snyder's got Army of the Dead coming out, and now what they're trying to do is they're trying to just put their coda on the Snyderverse to get us to kind of back off.
It might just be lazy marketing, though, guys. Like every time a new Fast and Furious movie comes out, they put out a DVD set of all the ones that are out already, and they say it's the complete set. When it's not true because Part 9's about to come out. So it might be some shit like that.
They said trilogy, though. That's the thing. That's the thing that Ann Sarnoff said. So it's like.
I mean, like with Star Wars,
that's true. That is true, Eddie.
Trilogy.
that is true, Eddie. You got to think about that, though. What you just pointed out, Ann Sarnoff's words were, "We're glad that Zack got an opportunity to complete his trilogy." That's what Ann Sarnoff said, and now all of a sudden we got the Zack Snyder trilogy trailer on HBO Max. Wow.
Yeah, like here's the thing: if it was just a compilation trailer saying, "Hey, all these movies are on HBO Max," that'd be one thing. But the fact the trailer cuts and says you can now watch the completion of his trilogy, see the completion of his vision, I'm like, come on, don't perpetuate that stuff, because it just, I don't know, it just angers me in a lot of ways, because it's just like, why are we continuing this lie with that? It wasn't a trilogy, you know.
Yep.
And again, I find it very suspicious that they release this the same day as the Army of the Dead trailer. It's obviously a clear marketing ploy. But again, it's just disappointing. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm just
Enemy
really
Mine.
frustrated.
Hell yeah, dude. I could hang out and watch movies with Zeno all night, man. He's bringing up all my favorites from when I was a kid.
Enemy Mine. Yeah, that's another great movie. But we've been going now for about an hour and a half, and I think this was a great panel. But
yeah, it's been time.
This has been great. I'm so glad that everybody was able to jump on. So I want to go around and get everybody's final thoughts here. We're gonna start with you, RJ. Overall, man, what's your hype level for Army of the Dead?
I'm super excited for it. I think as fans of Zack Snyder's work, we need to make sure to support this. Check out the movie, go out and watch the trailer, hype it up, man. Support Zack and his vision, man. He's a great and talented director, and we got to make sure we, put the work in.
Yep. And Matt, with you, brother, I gotta say it was so great to have you join us tonight. And what I wanted to do, and what I was going to ask you is if next week, if maybe you'd like to come on next Tuesday with us, and you and we could do a little segment. We could talk a little bit about Pumping Iron, since we both really like that movie. I kind of would love to get your take and kind of, do like a little bit of a mini review thing next week on the show.
Yeah, for sure. I just gotta see what's up with, because I have 2 jobs now, so I just gotta see like when I'm scheduled that day. But yeah, for sure, I'm down to do that. That's
all right. Sounds good, man. All right, and so your final thoughts, man, as far as hype level goes for like Army of the Dead.
Oh yeah, I'm hyped as fuck for it, because it looks like it's gonna be a really good time, and it's just fun. It looks fun.
Yeah, I'm with you. And you, Eddie, where are you at as far as hype for Army of the Dead, man?
Yeah, I'm hyped for it. When I saw the trailer, I said, when it comes to Zack Snyder, the visuals are always stunning and everything else. And I loved Dawn of the Dead. His Dawn of the Dead is my favorite zombie movie. And I'm hoping I feel the same way I felt watching it when it comes to this movie. But yeah, I'm very excited. I'll keep supporting Zack Snyder. When it comes to DC, him on Netflix or whatever it holds for the future, but I'm invested.
All right. And you, Truth, what's your final thoughts, brother?
I think Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead is going to be the biggest hit on Netflix. I think, people at Warner Brothers are going to look at that numbers, and Netflix is not going to hide their numbers for a couple months. They're actually going to release it and see, look, you just screwed up. And I'm a big fan of Dawn of the Dead. I'm a big fan of Snyder, and I think he's going to rejuvenate the zombie franchise once again. And I'm looking forward to it, man.
Well, man, that's great. And I'm a big fan of you, man. So I'm so happy that you came here tonight. Thank you so much for being on here. You are welcome anytime. And Johnny, what about you, man? What's your thoughts on Army of the Dead? Your final thoughts, bro?
I think it might actually beat out Wally's Wonderland for my favorite horror movie of the year.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance. Although we do have to talk a little bit next week. We'll talk a little bit about Wally's Wonderland, because that's a good movie. I definitely would love to kind of delve into that one a little bit too. So that's what we'll do. We got some stuff ahead for next week. So definitely look into that. Thank you, everybody here on the panel, for being here tonight. I appreciate all of you, especially all you guys. This is your first time being on the ZodWriter show. So
you
guys.
Yeah, huge pleasure being on here, man. It was awesome.
You guys are awesome. This is so much fun. Like I've just been geeking out all night, and I know you guys are all cool because I never talk about Marvel on my shows. I never do, and we spent a good portion of the time talking to Marvel. So I wanna thank everybody for being here, and thank you everybody for watching, and we will be back next week. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Right.